The Nephilim explained. The mysterious giants of Genesis 6, who were the Nephilim mentioned in the Bible. Were they giants that once walked the earth? Were they the children of fallen angels and humans? Or is there another explanation behind this mysterious passage in Genesis chapter 6? For centuries, scholars, theologians, and Bible readers have debated the meaning of one of the most puzzling passages in Scripture. Genesis tells us that when the sons of God married the daughters of men, a race of powerful beings called the Nephilim appeared on the earth. But who exactly were they? And why does this strange event appear before the great flood of Noah? In this video, we will explore who the Nephilim were, what the phrase sons of God really means, why giants appear in the story, and the different interpretations Christians have discussed for thousands of years. Part 1. The mysterious passage in Genesis. The story of the Nephilim comes from one of the most mysterious passages in the Old Testament. Genesis 6:1-4, when human beings began to increase in number on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Then the passage continues. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. These children became the heroes of old, men of renown. Immediately after this passage, the Bible describes the extreme wickedness of humanity, which eventually leads to the flood in the days of Noah. Because of this, many readers believe these strange events played a role in the corruption of the world before the flood. But what exactly does it mean? Part 2. What does Nephilim mean? The word Nephilim comes from a Hebrew term that many scholars translate as giants or fallen ones. The exact meaning is debated. Some believe it refers to people of enormous size and strength. Others think it refers to powerful warriors or tyrants. In fact, later in the Bible, the word appears again in the book of Numbers. Numbers 13:33. When the Israelite spies entered Canaan, they reported, "We saw the Nephilim there, and we seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes." This suggests that the Nephilim were remembered as very large and intimidating people. But this raises an even bigger question. Who were the sons of God who fathered them? Part 3. The meaning of sons of God. The phrase sons of God is the key to understanding this passage. There are three main interpretations that Christian scholars have discussed throughout history. Let's look at each one. Interpretation 1. Fallen angels. The first interpretation says that the sons of God were fallen angels. According to this view, certain angels rebelled against God and took human wives. Their children became the Nephilim, a race of powerful beings. Supporters of this view point out that in other parts of the Old Testament, the phrase sons of God refers to angels. For example, Job 1:6, the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. Because of this, some believe Genesis 6 describes a supernatural rebellion involving angels. This interpretation was actually common among many early Jewish writers and some early Christian thinkers. However, there are challenges with this view. Jesus said in Matthew 20-30 that angels do not marry. This raises questions about whether angels could actually produce offspring with humans. Interpretation 2. Powerful human rulers. Another interpretation suggests that the sons of God were powerful kings or rulers. In the ancient world, kings sometimes called themselves sons of gods to show authority. According to this view, powerful rulers took many wives and used their authority to dominate others. Their children became powerful warriors and tyrants, the Nephilim. This interpretation focuses on human corruption and abuse of power, rather than supernatural beings. Interpretation 3. The line of Seth. The third interpretation is one of the most common among Christian theologians. This view says the sons of God were the descendants of Seth, the godly son of Adam. Meanwhile, the daughters of men were descendants of Cain, who represented a rebellious line of humanity. According to this interpretation, the godly line of Seth began intermarrying with the corrupt line of Cain. This mixture led to widespread moral corruption in society. Eventually, the entire world became filled with violence and wickedness. This interpretation emphasizes the spiritual decline of humanity before the flood. Part 4. Why this happened before the flood. Regardless of which interpretation someone accepts, Genesis makes one thing very clear. Humanity had become extremely wicked. Genesis 6-5. The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth. Violence filled the earth. Corruption spread everywhere. This is why God decided to send the great flood, sparing only Noah and his family. The story of the Nephilim serves as a warning about the consequences of rebellion against God. Mid-video engagement. If you enjoy exploring mysteries in the Bible and deep biblical teachings, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who loves studying the Bible. Your support helps spread biblical knowledge around the world. Part 5. Giants later in the Bible. The Bible mentions other giants later in history. One of the most famous examples is Goliath, the giant warrior defeated by David. 1 Samuel 17. Goliath was described as a massive warrior who terrified the armies of Israel. There were also other giant clans mentioned in the Old Testament, such as the Anakim, the Rephaim. Some people wonder whether these giants were related to the Nephilim. The Bible does not clearly explain the connection, but the idea of giant warriors clearly existed in ancient traditions. Part 6. What the story teaches us. The story of the Nephilim is mysterious, but its message is clear. It reminds us that when humanity turns away from God, corruption spreads quickly. Pride, violence, and rebellion can destroy entire societies. But the Bible also shows that God always preserves a faithful remnant. In the time of Noah, God saved humanity through one righteous family. This ultimately points forward to the greatest salvation in history, Jesus Christ. Conclusion. The Nephilim remain one of the most fascinating mysteries in the Bible. Were they giants? Were they supernatural beings? Or were they powerful human rulers? Christians may disagree on the details, but the message of Genesis is unmistakable. When humanity rejects God's ways, corruption spreads. Yet even in the darkest moments of history, God prepares a path of redemption. Final call to action. What do you think about the Nephilim? Were they fallen angels, giants, or powerful rulers? Comment your thoughts below. And if you enjoy videos about Bible mysteries, Christian doctrine, and biblical history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this teaching with others, because the Bible still holds many fascinating truths waiting to be discovered.